Hey, what's up, everybody? Right now, I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm really excited, mainly because of the big, large object that is behind me. It is the second museum that our organization, Love Beyond Walls, has actually launched, the Dignity Museum.
A museum that's opening this weekend in College Park. It puts the spotlight on America's homeless crisis.
Our Karen Greer shows us how the Dignity Museum is taking an unconventional approach to give a voice to those who are often unheard.
From sidewalk encampments to underneath bridges, the pavement is often the only option for Atlanta's homeless. A reality that's easy for many to dismiss, but Terrence Lester wants you to take a closer look.
We are creating an intentional moment for people to pause long enough to see the humanity of those who are stripped of their dignity. And this is considered Dignity Mobile, which is the first podcast museum that represents the subject of homelessness in the United States of America. Hey, recently I just launched a podcast called the Imagine Dignity Podcast, where all of my guests, every single person that I've interviewed, has either been faced with poverty or they are persons without an address. And one of the reasons I thought it was so important to launch a podcast that centers the voices of those who are overlooked is because, one, just a few months back, we had a Supreme Court ruling that made a declaration, this huge statement that suggests that cities and states can actually penalize people for not having an address, even if there are no beds or shelters or any resources available. So literally, you can be punished for not having anywhere to go. And I think with all of the things that are going on in the world, this huge issue can be glossed over and kind of swept under a rug when many of our friends and neighbors who don't have anywhere to go are still living under the stigma and the social realities that they are not wanted, or that someone wants to publicly sanitize them. And so I'm really excited about launching this particular museum because all of the voices in the museum, people that I've sat down with, that I'm walking with, that our organization has supported, and they get a chance to talk about homelessness in a way that is not out of touch or from a distance. They're talking about their own experiences and how every single person's story is unique. And so I'm excited to launch it here. And after we do our event to educate students about the realities of homelessness in the United States of America, we're going to hit the road again because we were on the road as we traveled from Atlanta to North Carolina. We're going to hit the road again and go back to Atlanta to have our first grand opening there in the city around this important concept, passing the microphone to those who are overlooked. I hope you get a chance to follow along with the journey. And thank you for everybody who is actually watching the podcast and that supports our work through Love Beyond Walls.